Well, in order that we not die early of spiritual malnutrition, the Universal House of Justice has provided for the perpetuation of the functions of the hands of the cause of God in propagation and in protection. Counselor Afshin, who will talk to us about sacrifice, the essence of Baha'i service to the cause, is emblematic of the sacrifices of which he shall speak. He is a lawyer trained in the law in Iran, but found the call to service of Baha'u'llah stronger than the call to the bar, and was persuaded by Dr. Muhajir to serve the cause in India, where he came 19 years ago. Now, his experience here cannot have been all bitter, because it was here that he met another Baha'i pioneer from Iran, made her his bride, returned to Iran for the wedding, and then came back with her to pioneer again in India. He was made an auxiliary board member in 1970 and has been a counselor since 1976. He is now at the Baha'i Academy in Panchgani. I am proud and pleased to present to you Counselor B. Afshin.
Yesterday, Judge Nelson asked me that, do you want me to tell anything about you? I said yes. One thing only. Tell the friends that my English is very poor. He said that I cannot do. Then I took the liberty and freedom to tell the friends that because my English is poor, whenever I am caught in between and run short of English words, then I'll use my high English. As this one. شکست بالتر از من میان مرغان نیست، دلم خوش است که نامم کبوتر حرم است. Not infrequently, but quite often you hear a question raised by the non-Baha'is and occasionally by the Baha'i youth, that if the aim of the Baha'i faith is to establish oneness of mankind, if the Baha'i is working towards establishment of unity of man, how is that during this 140 years we are going in opposite direction, reverse direction? We can see in the world that this unity, hatred, war, fight, conflicts is increasing. Then what is contribution of the Baha'i faith? What the Baha'is have done? It's just opposite of your aim. I heard in India some people say, you know, the teachings of Baha'i faith is beautiful, ideal, but it is desire. Desire is different, plan is different. Tell us something practical. Because we can see that mankind is going in different direction. More misunderstanding and convulsion is taking place. How can you establish unity of man? Friends, really, what is the answer to this question? What are we doing? How far we are going in this way? We have the answer in our writings. We have in the writings of Blessed Beauty of Beloved Master, and particularly in the writings of Shoghi Effendi, Guardian, in his most beautiful book, The Promised Day is Come, Advent of Divine Justice, and so on. And in some Pilgrim's Note, Persian and English, both, that he explains, he gives the answer to this question. Beloved Guardian says that since the establishment of the cause of God, there are two forces, two powers released 140 years, 143 years. These two powers of moving hand in hand, side by side, simultaneously. He says one power is to remove all the barriers, all the walls and shaky pillars, prejudices, superstitions, old world order to be demolished. And the other power, he says, is for construction. To build up the world order of Baha'u'llah. He says these two powers started together and they will be ended together. Ultimate aim for both of them, the Universal House of Justice says, that is establishment, declaration of lesser peace. These two powers will work together. I tell the friends of India always, if you have an old building, small, tiny, dirty, old building, and you are planning to construct a huge, mighty palace in place of it, you have the blueprint in your hand, and you want to construct that palace in place instead of this small hut, this building. What's the first action? What's the first action? Naturally, destruction. Everybody knows, even a schoolboy knows, that you cannot construct a huge, mighty 175-story building on a shaky wall and single room. You have to destroy it, pave the way, and then construct your palace. Therefore, destruction is part of construction. Destruction is beginning of construction. No construction without destruction. You call it major plan, or as beloved Guardian calls it, plan of God for destruction, paving the way, removing all the barriers. It's major plan. It's plan of God. And Baha'i is also responsible for construction. One pillar is removed, another one to be erected is our job. Beloved Guardian calls it plan of the Baha'is. Both of them are from God. One source. Destructive power as well as constructive one. Both are from God. Let me put it in this way. Beloved friends, whatever is happening in the world, either minor or major incidents, visible or invisible, whatever is happening in this world is for the cause of God and because of the cause of God. Blessed Beauty of Baha'u'llah in Most Holy Book mentioned that. Just now, Hand of the Cause, Mr. Featherstone mentioned that. In his Holy Book, Baha'u'llah says, the world's equilibrium had been upset through the vibrating influence of this most great, this new world order. Mankind's order life had been revolutionized. Mankind's order life had been revolutionized through the agency of this unique, this wondrous system, the like of which mortal eyes have never witnessed. Mankind's order life had been revolutionized. The whole balance of the world is upset. Baha'u'llah says it is because of my world order. because of this unique, this most great, this new world order. The whole system of the world is disturbed. Yes, because it is unique. The mortal eyes have never witnessed. Beloved guardian, in God passes by, says, no Baha'is, even the most scholar one, can claim that he understands and he realized how great, how majesty is the world order of Baha'u'llah, because we do not know what it is and how it is. Whatever we say is our imagination and supposition. But these two powers are working together hand in hand to establish world order of Baha'u'llah. And beloved guardian gives another factor, and he says that the rate of speed of these two powers is increasing. Baha'u'llah says each year, each month, each day, awnan fa'awnan, moment by moment, to speed up, both of them. And beloved House of Justice, in the beginning of the 5-year plan, told the believers, urge the Baha'is, arise, that your plan of the Baha'is, may match and coincide with plan of God, that destructive one. Baha'is should not lagging behind. Our plan should go hand in hand. One shelter is removed, the old world order is removed, demolished. Baha'is should put on another one, the new one, because it is going very fast. I'm listening to the news every day, morning and evening. If I don't listen, it's as if I'm cut off from the world. My wife always complains of that why your attention to the news is more than me. But anyhow, but you know, years back, listening to the news, every few months, 5 months, 7 months, you would hear something new, some great incident took place. But now today, evening news is different than the morning one. Believe me, they don't repeat it. So many things is happening. There's no time to repeat what happened in the morning, because it is in our writing. The power of destruction is getting momentum, is destroying, paving the way. Time is short. The world order of Baha'u'llah should come through. And the Baha'is, our time is short. We have to do something. And House of Justice asks the Baha'is, don't waste your time. Teach the faith. Deepen the knowledge of the believers. Consolidate your local spiritual assemblies. It's paining when sometimes you realize that Baha'is, even pioneers, do not know what great things they are doing. How wonderful is their job. They go to a village. They open a tiny village to the cause of God. To them it is not important. But we know it is important. When they establish small local spiritual assembly in the interior area, in Indian subcontinent, you know what they are doing? Another pillar. Another pillar is added to 32,000 pillars, local spiritual assemblies. On them, 148 mighty, majestic pillars, national spiritual assembly. And on the top of them, supreme body, universal house of justice is resting. We are constructing the world order. Our job is great, and blessing of Baha'u'llah is great. It was the beginning of the 5-year plan. We were going to launch the 5-year plan. It was a big gathering in Bombay. Amatul Baha Ruhiya Khanum was addressing the Baha'is. And she told the Baha'is, don't worry about plan of God, and don't talk so much about plan of God and destruction and calamities and convulsion, when it will happen and how it will happen, because we do not know details of it. But she said that God knows how He handles His plan. You worry about your own plan. Plan of the Baha'is. God has His own agencies. How wonderful it was. He has His own manpower. The Universal House of Justice says mankind in general, working for God. Some on the top, leaders, ordering for destruction. And some people actively involved in destruction. And she said, but you worry about your own plan. It's natural, friends. If we fail in achieving goals of our plan, Baha'u'llah won't ask, for instance, municipality of Bombay, why the Baha'is didn't achieve their goals. Naturally, Baha'u'llah will ask the Baha'is, what happened to you? You're responsible for construction. I am telling our beloved friends of Indian subcontinent, that's why we Baha'is in India are stressing so much on this law of Baha'u'llah, that we Baha'is should not take part in political parties. We are not supposed to take part in political parties because we are for construction, not destruction. As we say in India, for the Baha'is there is no Zindabad, Murdabad. We do not believe in that. That's why one of the laws of Baha'u'llah is that to be obedient to the government, to be loyal to the government. Baha'is are the first people in each nation, in each country they reside, to be faithful to their government and to their nations, because we are for construction. Because we are making world order of Baha'u'llah. We are engineers. We are the architects. Because of this, teaching the faith is so important, beloved friends. We need more architects. We need more builders. We have to attract them to the faith. We cannot construct world order of Baha'u'llah with 1,300 bricks. We cannot construct world order of Baha'u'llah with only 15,000 local spiritual assemblies in India alone, or a few hundred local spiritual assemblies in different countries. We cannot. We need much, much more powers, manpower and engineers. That's why teaching the faith is so important. Let me tell you one thing more, friends. Did you ever see, when destruction is taking place in our daily life, some people gather and watch, they observe. They are not involved in destruction. They are neither ordering nor indulging it. But they like to stand and see. You see it in India particularly. We say among ourselves, because we are jobless, we have enough time to see it or stand and watch for 1 hour. How they are demolishing one wall and pushing another wall till it is collapsed. Sometimes you can see youth and people surrounding the building and see how it is being destroyed. And they move accordingly also when they push the wall. Excitement, destruction, excitement. And sometimes, nowadays, the situation of the world, excitement with little fear. They're frightened. Left, right, center, everything is being destroyed. They cannot trust anyone. Traveling together, but they do not trust the neighbor. Because something may happen and both of them blast and shoot up. But they see, they observe for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Innocent observers. In the same way, you can see sometimes that there are observers watching how construction is going on. They are not taking part in construction. But they observe. They watch. Brick on brick. Another wall. After a few months. Wow, look. New building. Last year, nothing was here. A desert. See, a new town. Construction. Not that much excitement there. But it is nice to watch. To see that how construction is taking place. I hope it is not taking place in the Baha'i faith. I hope in the Baha'i faith we do not have observers. We cannot afford it, friends. The time of past that we had Baha'is only to enjoy seeing the progress of the faith. It's too late now. We have to be either constructor or we cannot call ourselves a real and true Baha'i. We cannot have observers in the Baha'i faith. Hand of the Cosmos of Fruitan was saying, we are soldiers of Baha'u'llah. It's a spiritual army of Baha'u'llah. You cannot say that in this country we have an army, consisting of 2,000 soldiers, and 1,300 of them are inactive. The rest of them are active. Baha'u'llah cannot accept inactive soldiers. Naturally, we cannot. We cannot have observers anymore. I say, we can have three categories, friends, of believers. First group are those Baha'is, devoted believers of God. They're a group of the Baha'is that they decide what to do for the faith. They say, I am ready to serve the cause of God if the Baha'is realize that I am good to be made member of the local assembly. Of course, no one will say like that, naturally, because we Baha'is are wise meanwhile. But when they give the report of the election of the local spiritual assembly, one may say, very good, very good. But we have more active Baha'is also. He's referring to himself. It means they didn't recognize, they didn't realize that I am there. They decide. They say, I am ready to serve the faith if. Condition. If it is only Haziratul Quds committee, Wednesday, 5 to 7 o'clock, I'm sorry, provided Mrs. So-and-so is not a member. But I serve the faith. I tell you, friends, that's again too late. We need other type of believers. Those active believers who say, I am at your service. I am at your disposal. Use me. If he goes to the National Spiritual Assembly of India and say, I am a physician, doctor, with this many years of experience, and the National Spiritual Assembly says, thank you very much, but you know what we need? We need a watchman for the Mashriq Eلاذکار. And he will say, really? I am at your service. That's the need. That's the need of the time. We need Baha'is, soldiers, ready to listen what the generals say. That's the time. But still I go further. We have another category of the believers, superior, higher, top, on the horizon of devotion. They don't want name, they don't want position, no station, no fame, nothing. Absolute sacrifice. Absolute sacrifice. Devoted. Lovers. They don't have their own name. Example of sacrifice. That's the type of the soldiers of Baha that we need. Not only sacrificial services, but beg Baha'u'llah, beseech him in their prayers. Enable me to sacrifice myself in thy path. I don't want any name. Follow beloved Master Abdul Baha. That type of believers. I call them true lovers. True lovers. When I was too young, years ago, a few years back, I started reading the books, history, writings, and I was excited. I discovered, maybe I'm wrong. If I am wrong, please, friends, don't correct me. I was thinking that, discovered that in the history of the faith, we have two types of believers. Even in the writings, tablets of Baha'u'llah, Abdul Baha, we are divided into two groups. One group I discovered are wise people, wise Baha'is. Everything according to the wisdom. Intelligence, calculation, considering consequences, result of it, effect of it, why, 101, why, how. Very good. they're wonderful. I call them wise people, ughla. And we need them really. They're wonderful. And then in the other hand, lovers, true lovers. And I discovered that we have several tablets addressed to them, to the lovers, in different tone, different way addressed. To people like me to be very wise or trying to be wise, it is addressed, oh friends of God, Yaran Elahi, oh believers of this great dispensation, oh thou friends of Baha. Yes, wonderful station. The aim of life is achieved, friends of God. But then I discovered there are other group. They are called lovers. Oh, devoted lovers. Oh, true lovers of Baha'u'llah. Even sometimes, beloved master and guardian call them true lovers. May my life be sacrificed for them. May my life be sacrificed. Lovers. This is highest. This is horizon of a station that a believer will reach to. We need true lovers. I always tell my beloved friends in India, our relationship with Baha'u'llah is not simply and merely relationship of the master with his students. It's not relationship of kind father and children. It's not relationship only of creator and creatures. No, it's much, much beyond that. Our relationship with Baha'u'llah is simply one word, love. He is beloved and we are lovers. One relationship only, love. He wants us to be true lovers. And he calls himself, I am the beloved. And in his hidden word says, I am the only beloved. And I want to be the only beloved. No one else. True lovers. How can we understand that we are true lovers? It's very difficult. My Baha'i teacher, when I was in the cradle of the faith, used to tell us it's easy to find out so many measurements we have. If you have fever, you put thermometer and you understand. If you want to measure, you will say 2 meters, 3 feet. How many kilos? But for love of Baha'u'llah, there is no measurement. I don't think there is any thermometer so far. But I suggest that you think about it. Maybe it is possible. But to put in the mouth of the Baha'is and find out what is their devotion. Wow. We don't have really. He was telling us it is so difficult. Even to judge about our own devotion and our faith is difficult. But in the hidden words, Baha'u'llah gives the way. And he gives the standard. He said, if you are true lover, ask for sacrifice and calamities and tests. Ask for it. Beseech it. And I'll give it to you. He said this is the sign of true lover. A true lover will beseech God to accept his sacrifice. To give his life. He asked for tests and trials and difficulties and calamities. He never cries, but he begged Baha'u'llah. He locked himself in a room and begged his beloved, beloved, shower on me tests and trials. I want to sacrifice everything. That's the sign. And I was reading Dawnbreakers when I was young. And I was moved by the stories of the history of the faith. God passes by. And I was thinking, Baha'u'llah, why the Dawnbreaker is closed? Why not one more chapter? Why not second volume of Dawnbreakers? What happened? Why heroic age is over? So pity. It's great to be in formative age. But that day of love and devotion and sacrifice and excitement, the time of Tahir Qurratul Ain, the time of Mullah Hussain, why it's over? Why it is closed? Why we are becoming wise? Why the number of wise men is increasing and lover is reducing? Why? Praise to God. Baha'u'llah answered our prayers. In this formative age, we entered the fourth epoch of the formative age. And Baha'u'llah said, look here is the heroic age and formative age linked together. Look at the cradle of the faith. Look at the countries that are opposing the cause of God. The Baha'is having another chance to be heroes of the faith. We are tasting the beauty of heroic age. We are fortunate. We are blessed. We are in formative age. But Baha'u'llah gives the taste and beauty of heroic age to us. I'll tell you one story. I'll try to finish it quickly. I read in the history, there were two brothers in Isfahan, very rich. Nayyar and Sina. The elder brother Nayyar, Janab Nayyar, outstanding teacher of the faith, both of them, very rich. They had a big house, those days a palace, beautiful Persian carpets. People would come and stand to come and see them with the excuse of greeting them. They wanted to watch and see the furniture of the house. They had a big and beautiful samavar, we call it, the instrument to make tea in it. To come and see how rich they are, these two brothers. And they accepted the faith. They became Baha'is and everything lost. They opposed them, persecuted them. The house was taken away. All their belonging and possession, everything. And they asked for it. They asked for sacrifice and Baha'u'llah is given to them. Everything was taken away. They left their hometown. They came to Tehran. Both of them continued teaching. Nayyar, an old man, didn't have a shelter to live in. The spiritual assembly of Tehran is given small room in the Haziratul Quds of Tehran for Janab Nayyar, the teacher of the faith, to have his fireside. Every night he had fireside. Every night. An old man and sick in single room. One night, a lady, Jew background, but power of Baha'u'llah, making all of us members of one family. She suddenly thought, let me go and see how Nayyar is having his food. How this old man, the teacher of the faith, is living. She went to the Haziratul Quds. She opened the room door. And she cried out. In astonishment she cried. And she asked, Janab Nayyar, what are you doing? Because she saw Nayyar having a piece of old dried bread in his hand, breaking it into small pieces, putting in a glass of water and eating. She shouted, Janab Nayyar, what are you doing? And Nayyar gently answered, I am having my dinner. I am having my dinner. That's it. And it's recorded in the history of the faith. She was so moved, but she didn't dare to say anything. She knew that she cannot bring out money and give to the hand of Nayyar. She can't with the command and risk of Nayyar. She cannot. She had a little money tied in her handkerchief. She removed it slowly without Nayyar noticing it. She pushed it under his pillow with the hope that Nayyar will see it and take it and use it. After a few days, Janab Nayyar passed away. Baha'is came for funeral. She was the first one to rush to the room. She removed the pillow to see whether Nayyar has used it. To her astonishment, the money was left as it was. Not a penny of it was used. Not a penny of it. Maybe Nayyar didn't need it. Maybe Nayyar never saw it. Maybe Janaab Nayyar didn't want to touch it. Maybe he didn't want. And he left this world with absolute detachment and sacrifice. We had these kinds of Baha'is. Praise to God. Number of devoted believers is increasing. I tell you, friends, the last story. 6 years back, I came to Delhi. Mashraq Eلاذکار committee told me that you are going to meet the man who donated the site for the temple. Eردشیر Rustampur, a Zoroastrian background Baha'i. Tell him that Mashraq Eلاذکار committee is inviting him to come and see that the work of Mashraq Eلاذکار is started. The house of worship of subcontinent is established. He has given whatever he had. I met this gentleman in several occasions. He told me that when beloved guardian permitted us to buy the site for the temple, whatever I had I have given. I sold up my shop even. And he said before that, whatever was in the counter, the small box I had, I collected. I went to the bank and withdrawing everything, and I have given to beloved guardian. And I said, this is for the temple site. And he accepted it with blessing. And he is the only man who bought this land, Eردشیر Rustampur. And he was absolutely illiterate. He couldn't read and write. He couldn't read his name even. He couldn't write at all. But devoted, strong pillar of the faith. And beloved guardian accepted his donation. They told me in Delhi, when you go and meet him, first you present this beautiful wall calendar, picture of temple on it. Give it to Mr. Eردشیر Rustampur and tell him, please come to Delhi, you will be our guest. We pay for your return ticket and you will be our guest in Delhi. But come and see how construction of the mother temple of Indian subcontinent is started. I accepted willingly. I went to him and I presented the calendar to him. He kissed the calendar. He saw the picture and lighted. To my surprise, he put the calendar under his pillow. I said, Janaab Eردشیر, this is a wall calendar. Hang it there to see. He said, no. I want early morning when I get up, the first thing I look at be the temple of India. I want to see that first. Then I told him, Janaab Eردشیر, the Mashraq Eلاذکار committee invited you and they paid for your return ticket to come and see that how work started. He puzzled for a while. He turned to me and said, go and tell them that my coming to Delhi and see the temple doesn't help the progress of construction. How much is the ticket fare? I said, few thousand rupees. He said, tell them, give that to the temple fund, let the construction continue. My coming is not required. We have two lovers. We have so many of them. He died and he never saw the temple. But I am sure he is with us. It is mentioned in several occasions, Eردشیر Rustampur is with us. And he is watching the progress of the faith. This type of devotion. I am sure that 8,000 devoted true lovers of Baha'u'llah are sitting here. Beloved friends, I was traveling in India and in Asian countries, encouraging the believers, friends, contribute to the temple fund. Telling them what I have learned when I was student in Baha'i classes in Iran. I learned from my Baha'i teacher always telling us, don't miss the opportunities. You know, beloved guardian appealed to the world. Contribute to the shrine of the Bab. He was constructing shrine of the Bab and asking the believers, urging them to contribute. We have received signed by beloved guardian of 25 paisa. contributed by individual believers and beloved guardians, signed, received and sent to them. But he was encouraging the believers, contribute. Shrine of the Bab is under construction. No Baha'i could contribute it anymore for construction. He was telling us, if you give now $10,000 and say this is for construction of the shrine of the Bab, they say, good, nice intention. But it is too late. It's too late. It's completed. I was telling the friends throughout Asia, friends, let us contribute. When this lotus house of worship is completed, then you cannot contribute. They will tell you, it's too late. Contribute now. Let us have something there. A brick by your name, by the name of your son and daughter and your late father and mother, the dear and near one. Do something before it is completed. But my heart is enlightened. Recently, Universal House of Justice, out of its mercy, announced to the National Spiritual Assembly of India and to all the Asian National Spiritual Assemblies, announcing that a new fund is established, Temple Maintenance Fund. And they said now Baha'is are urged and encouraged to contribute towards this fund, Temple Maintenance Fund. Praise be to God. Door is not closed. We can contribute to the temple maintenance. Beloved friends, I was talking yesterday with architect Sapa. I asked him how much will we estimate of expenses of the temple maintenance. He said we calculated nearly 2.5 lakh of rupees. We say in India 2.5 lakh. 200,000, 250,000 rupees each month minimum for maintenance. Then he told me, you know this silent teacher of the faith? We calculated that nearly each month we can distribute 100,000 pamphlets and book about the Baha'i faith in different languages. 100,000. Not only in the languages, Indian languages, the 15, 16 major languages and 200 minor languages we have in India, but different languages. Baha'i literatures, 100,000 of them every month. He said, calculate, if each one of them cost us 1 rupee, then monthly 100,000 rupees is needed for only distribution of pamphlets by this silent teacher of the cause of God, besides the maintenance fund. Now, beloved friends, House of Justice permitted us to contribute to the temple maintenance. Beloved Master says, Baha'i festivals are very great. But he said Baha'i festivals is not like other societies and religions. They come together, enjoy singing, giving lectures, and so on. He said that's not enough. Baha'is in great festivals, they should determine for something unprecedented, something great, something unique. They should hand in hand, members of one big family should arise to do something important, unusual thing. Then he said that is real festival. Can we make in this last day of our conference a decision? Can we decide to contribute to the temple maintenance fund and assure Universal House of Justice and relieve the National Spiritual Assembly of India from this tension that they have, how we are going to meet such expense? 2-3 lakhs every month. How? Can we contribute and send a cable telex to the Universal House of Justice, Supreme Body. Say this is for his glad tidings from Indian subcontinent. Now, this news from our gathering, after 4 or 5 days being together, temple is dedicated to mankind and to God. Now, we Baha'is, 8,000, 9,000 of us gathered here, we pledged to pay, to contribute towards this fund. No worry for the Universal House of Justice. Tell the House of Justice, we achieve it. Beloved friends of India, you have constructed your mother temple with absolute poverty. We witnessed how the believers in Indian subcontinent were contributing. We read in the Baha'i news that a lady in a village, a Baha'i woman, just to contribute to the temple, come for dedication. She decided 2 years ago to raise chicken. 5, 10 of them. To sell the eggs. Earn, collect, contribute. With absolute poverty. That's the sign of devotion and sacrifice. We constructed our house of worship with this sacrifice. We Baha'is only. With absolute poverty. We constructed our temple. Let us prove that we can look after the maintenance of our temple. Let's do it. Let's send a message to the Universal House of Justice. Beloved House of Justice, at least for the first phase of the 6-year plan, say so. 1.5 years. No worries. We Baha'is gathered in this conference, we pledged. We contributed and we pledged. We will look after it. Nothing from international fund. We shall do it. I'm sure. We shall do it.